And as we just mentioned, King of the Ring, Cody Rhodes defeating Randy Orton. Randy Orton losing the second time in 2 years in the finals of the King of the Ring. Last year losing to Gunther, this year losing to Cody Rhodes. So interesting setup here, both for Cody and for Randy as well. As we saw at the end of the match, Cody is in there kind of giving his spiel and thanking Randy Orton, and Randy Orton's kind of glaring back at Cody, right? So you have him off in the distance. It doesn't seem like maybe Randy feels like his business is finished with Cody. It was a little bit of that old Viper just kind of lingering back there in the background. But when you get these two in the ring together, I think you're just going to get a classic. And I think that's what we got starting off the show here at Night of Champions.
Yeah, great match. I just wish there was a little more build-up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got two legacy members, and there was parts of it that it was just weird. It was, I don't know if Rhodes was playing the heel a little bit or how the match pacing was. It just seemed like maybe it was a back injury by Orton, and was the detail of the first half of the match.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it was kind of wonky. It was a good match, but it was weird the way they, I don't know, staged it, I guess would be the word.
I get where you're coming from, and I actually have that same complaint, or not complaint, but just critique about a couple more matches here within this card, and so I get where you're coming from, and I think part of it, weirdly, last night specifically with the commentary team, I thought the commentary team not took over, but was given a little bit more different direction than they typically give. I feel like it's been more call the action. Right. Up until last night, or not last night, but at Night of Champions. And then at Night of Champions, I just felt like they were really trying to drive certain stories that didn't quite fit, kind of what we had seen up until that point. And kind of to what you were saying, maybe it's because the build wasn't there. And
there was no build, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you have it as King of the Ring, and I get it, and there's stuff on the line, and that's great. But when you think about Cody and Randy, man, how much more do you have to tell if you actually give that some build, or if you have them, if you have it tournament style throughout the night and they're back there and they're eyeballing each other and they know this showdown is coming.
Well, and that's what's been weird about these matches, like the Orton Cena, the Punk Cena, like all this seems like really rushed. When at first we thought we were getting this like slow burn with the storytelling, and now it's kind of turned in. I keep bringing back the Attitude Era, but this kind of like in your face, nonstop. Like, I don't know. It's just a lot to process, but also didn't it seem like Rhodes was kind of working like a heel in this match?
A little bit. And I think you have to question if Cody is at the end of his, like, if we've seen enough of this babyface American Nightmare from Cody. Does Cody have something more to give? Can we, can we get like a double turn situation with him and Cena at SummerSlam? I think that's an intriguing conversation to have as we approach SummerSlam. And
good point.
Is John, because we got it, and we'll talk about it more later on, but there were hints of John Cena doing some not so heelish things. I mean, it definitely ended that way in his match, but is there going to come a point where we want to see Cena kind of go out as the Cena that we've known basically for 20 years?
Right. And I think it's tough with Rhodes too, because I mean, the one thing I took away from these guys, dude, they are so smooth in the ring.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a better two wrestlers that like transitions, just punches, kicks, everything's so good. And you can just tell these guys are second, third generation superstars, man. Like, it's in their blood, and like you can tell. I thought it was a good match. It was just different. And I think that was my only critique of it. I just kind of felt rushed with everything in this match and in this. Maybe it's the storyline, maybe it's the booking, I don't know. But not a bad match at all. They're great in the ring together.
So with Cody Rhodes winning and, John Cena being evidently his opponent, come SummerSlam, at least I have to imagine that's going to be the case, right? What's next for Randy?
He's so hot. Like, I don't know, but I mean, you can just keep putting him in like main event storylines. It's a tough one. Like, I just hope he sticks around at this point. Whatever he's doing, it's worked so far from Joe Hendry to this. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell because last night on Raw, we got so many different things, whether it was LA Knight coming at Seth Rollins or CM Punk going back after Seth Rollins and CM Punk shoving Gunther at one point. And, you just got all of these kind of top end players. If you got Cody and John figured out, and it's just like, okay, where does Randy fit in? Is he going to really go back after like the U.S. title or the Intercontinental title? I don't really think so because you got
Right.
AJ and Dom kind of figured out there. You got a new champion in Solo Sikoa. I don't know if you're really reigniting Randy and any sort of bloodline sort of story. So it's just, I don't know. He could go anywhere, but I don't know that he has a specific destination right now.
When then with Cody, would it have been better maybe if Cody would have faced the winner of Goldberg Gunther at SummerSlam, like a fresh paint and circle back to Cena, maybe?
I can see it. I think that match, Cody and Gunther, is most certainly coming and in the works and could be worthwhile. Obviously, if they needed something to feature and sell SummerSlam being, the event of the summer, the WrestleMania of the summer, if you will, I think Cody and Cena is just simply the bigger draw.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I could see that one going either way.
And I did see, we'll talk about Rhea here in a minute, but did you see Cody Rhodes' record? Like when they showed it in that box, I think he's like 33-2 at PLEs or something crazy. And I was like, dude, he's on that Hogan level. Like,
yeah, and I think Rhea's only been beaten maybe like 3 times or something in the last couple of years.
Yeah, both of them are like God status in singles matches, which I thought was, I mean, you just don't realize how dominant both these superstars are.
Well, speaking